All right, episode 20 motherfucking 1. We are now legally able to drink, and it would be nice if I had this to open right then and there, but I can't because I have no fingernails.
Yeah, hold on.
It's got to open my beer for me.
Yeah.
All right, episode 21. We're legally able to drink.
Yeah. Joke didn't get any funnier the second time.
And I'm hurt. All right. So, did you hear? Well, you heard about Andrew Tate getting arrested, right?
Yes, for like human trafficking. Thanks to Greta Thunberg.
Roasted the shit out of him.
I was gonna say Greta Gornberg.
Yeah, she clapped back at him because he tweeted at her, "Oh, here's a list of all my cars. What's your email? I'll send you a video of all my admissions."
Right.
And she was like, smalldickenergy@getalife.com. And she ratioed the shit out of him. I mean, it was like 1,300,000% more of a like to dislike ratio and more popularity than his. So he had to do a video where he was like trying to get his masculinity back. And in doing that, he gave away his location by ordering a non-recyclable pizza box.
Right.
Dude. He was in the video, it was like he had a sizzling steak. He was sitting in a room. Like he was one bearskin rug away from like, please think of me as a man. It was so fucking funny. Oh my God. And just the fact that this girl embarrassed him.
Right.
And then he got arrested. He claims that she's brainwashed by The Matrix. That movie from 1999 is still hurting people all these years later.
It was a fantastic movie.
I know, it is. It is fantastic. Well, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The second one's got a cool fight scene, and then that's it.
And that's about it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, someone said on Twitter, he's organically popular the world over, and I was like, that sounds like the package on blueberries you get at Whole Foods.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like bad PR.
Yeah.
For shitty like McDonald's food.
Yeah. Like, oof. In the video, he was like, why would that be my email address? I mean, why is that a diss to me if that's your email address? He's one step away from, I know you are, but what am I?
Right.
He was so fucking, he was caught off guard and shook. He was like, this is going to hurt my brand. Yeah, your brand is kind of fucked up since you say things like, the global matrix got this bot farm to click like on her comment and tweets in order to further emasculate me. And I was like, yeah.
Right, and that's just like how he tries to sit and claim that he releases pertinent information on government employees or whatever, because he's like, I'm going to say this right now. I will never kill myself. Like, he's announced that he would never kill himself on several different interviews as a way to, like, defend in case he's ever unalived, as everyone's saying nowadays, because you're all pussies.
And that is just in turn making him gain fake.
Right, but little does he know is that everyone he's telling this to wants him to kill himself. Yeah. Like, fuck this dude. He's such an annoying piece of shit.
Dude, my favorite part about, there's a video out there where he's like talking about how he's in a relationship and he doesn't even know her name, and she just straight pulls his card. It's like a fucking Crip getting his flag pulled. It was perfect.
Now, speaking of Crips, my kid decided he wants to learn how to Crip walk.
Oh, God.
And I was like, yeah, you better not let us see a Crip do.
Yeah,
like,
don't let a Crip
don't let a Crip see you doing that. And he was like, why? Because I'm
unless
white?
It's on TikTok.
I was like, no, because you're not a Crip.
Yeah, because you're not a Crip. No, it has nothing to do with you being white. It has everything to do with the fact that you're not a Crip.
Right.
Like, did you get jumped in recently?
Yeah, you can do it on a TikTok if you're just like,
if you do
doing
good
a
enough
dance
job.
video.
If you do a good enough job, you might get a shout out like, oh, hey, you did a good job.
But he's talking about like doing it walking through the mall and shit.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. You mean kind of like we parodied fake gangs to their face, and they supported us.
Yeah, it was funny.
They gave us applause. They were like, oh, man, we love it. We love it.
It got to a point where people thought it was an actual gang. Then we had...
Yeah, we got kicked out of the mall.
Well, we also had camouflage banned as... Like, people weren't allowed to wear camouflage...
At the mall.
To the mall. Because we turned camouflage into a gang color.
And it like
any camouflage too.
Yeah, and we like we grew in size faster than the fake cribs, so we were like eclipsing them.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Till people started taking it too seriously.
Yep. That's how I got. But so the other thing is Vince McMahon is back.
Oh yeah?
He fucking created a hostile takeover. In one day, Brad, he threatened to sell the company outright from underneath in order to gain access to being on the board of being back on the chairman of the board.
Right.
And doing so, he brought 2 people with him, which means 2 people have to immediately be resign. And guess what? Just one of them so happened to be a lucky coincidence and be the man who investigated and found him guilty of the fraud in the first place.
No shit.
Yes. And now he's saying, well, I'm not going back to creative. This is just me doing this so that I could be the one in charge of the media rights distribution that's forthcoming. And renegotiation of it anyways.
Right.
And he's saying that he's the one that is the only one that stands to make a great increase in the deal. Everyone else is just going to fuck it up, so they need him. And he just basically threatened to sell it outright if they didn't let him. So, boom, he's back on the fucking board. Like, just like that.
Good for him.
I mean, good for him. That's going to get us hit.
Yeah.
We're going to get some shit for that one.
Yeah.
He's just joking, people.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a giant piece
Everyone's
of
a piece of shit.
Yeah, in the video I did about it, I was like, it was me, it was Vince, baby. It was Vince all along.
It was me, Austin.
And then I took a bit out of the lethal dose of poison interview that he did when he did the NWO.
Right.
And it was like, when he started it, he was like, facts are cold. They're not caring. They're hurtful. And I was like, is it the Wall Street Journal that told you that, Vince? Like, oof.
Oh, did you just get off the phone with your stockbroker?
Yeah. Actually, the stock went up.
Of course it did.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, Vince is back in charge. Okay, great. They'll make a lot of money. The content will suck, but they'll make a lot of money.
Secretly, all of this was just so they could, like, the stocks would fall a little bit, and then they could, get somebody to buy some, and then they're raised back up now, so somebody's going to get real rich off of WWE stocks.
Now you always joke about it, but I'm always so late to the party that like literally the building's gone by the time I get there.
Right.
But Carol Baskin's husband found alive and well in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No shit.
Just straight up, Dale's over there chilling. He's fine, 100%. What the fuck? That is the most disappointing end to this. And also, a lot of people
no
Carol
way.
Baskin.
Where did you hear this?
It's all over the news. You can Google search it.
Is it
is
new?
Verified, yeah. I mean, I don't know how new it is. I didn't look up the dates.
No.
But, like, it is a verified thing. He is in Costa Rica chilling.
That's sad.
So
he faked his death. No, he just disappeared.
Yeah, he just
right?
disappeared.
He just ran out on his wife.
Yeah. He just ran out on his wife, his kids, and the tigers.
Took all the money.
Yeah.
Well, he probably saw it was going downhill.
Yeah.
Like, he knew that eventually the animal rights people were going to come after him.
So I think, like, the battle rap community...
Or he was just in love with a small Latino man.
The battle rap community and TikTokers
Julio.
owe Carol an apology, because there was a lot of, Carol Baskins killed her husband!
No, fuck that bitch. She's weird.
Oh, yeah. No, she is a Karen, or she's a leopard print flavor of Karens.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, she is so psychotic. And it's okay because in the opposite end of that spectrum, we have the mullet, the magnificent mullet, the character that is the charisma of Tiger King himself.
Right, but the reason Carol Baskin is so weird is because she's just, if you think about it in Pokemon standards, she's just the final evolution of Cat Lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She is cat lady level over 9,000.
Yeah.
That's a dead meme. But yeah, it was crazy. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Well, there goes a lot of battle rap people in their bars. That's gonna suck. Like, Sharon did a whole diss track to Carol Baskins.
Well, I mean, she probably still deserved it.
Oh no, she absolutely still deserved it. Oh, and Joe Rogan made it whoopsie.
Oh yeah?
The king of podcasts, man. We get to shake our finger and go tisk tisk tisk.
The McElroy brothers are the kings of podcasts. They have the most successful podcast franchises.
Never heard of them.
Out there.
I'm sure I've heard of their content. Who are they?
My brother and me, the Adventure Zone, Sawbones. They have developed their own podcasting company that different people podcast for.
Oh, so they got their own platform.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's It's insane. They were doing so well on podcasts that they were actually brought in to be voices on Trolls World Tour.
What the fuck is that?
It's the second Trolls movie.
Oh, okay.
And it just so happened that movie was the first direct-to-stream major motion picture during COVID, and it made almost as much money as the Avengers.
Speaking of movies,
it's like Endgame, and these guys, just podcasters, if people like their voices, made a shitload of money.
We need to say cheers because Avatar #2 has bombed so hard at the box office, it shit its pants,
bro. They were looking to make
level.
what, $4 billion in the opening weekend?
Yeah, and they made like $1 million.
Well, they made
It's like 256 mil.
They made a good amount of money, but nowhere near to what they needed to make. And after opening weekend, James Cameron was already talking about releasing the director's cut.
Yeah, which is 8 hours.
9 hours. Fucking hours.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to work 9 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally, if your movie is longer than an entire workday, go fuck yourself.
If you're not paying me to do it, I'm not doing it for 9 hours.
Yeah, that's brutal, dude.
Like, bro.
Oh my god.
Your movie is not that good.
I'm just so happy that it died a terrible death. Like, everybody watched that. That is like a guy that you watch just... You can't help. There's nothing you can do about it, and he's just dying right there.
It was if you took Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves, rolled him up in a ball, and threw him into space. That was the first Avatar. They even had a grandmother willow tree. They fucking... And get this, like, have you ever watched the movie, the first one?
No.
Like, the way they, like, these blue aliens, right? Like, they do this weird sex scene.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Where they combine their hair.
Yeah,
right?
their hair.
Well... They also use that hair to ride these fucking these dragonfly beast things.
It's very problematic.
And so my question is, James Cameron, are your blue aliens just running around fucking everything all the time?
And using their dicks, basically, their dicks and their titties
for
and their vagina for everything. Yeah.
For everything. Because if their sex organs are in their hair, and they're using their hair to control these fucking flying things, they're just fucking them all the time.
I wonder how that would affect BDSM chicks who think... Well, no, chicks who think they're into BDSM who just like their hair pulled and being choked a little.
So you'd braid it.
You'd get those fucking, those ones that you get in the Bahamas.
Yep. Put beads and braids in.
Yeah, white girls, you are not into BDSM just because you like to be spanked, choked, or have your hair pulled. That's just normal shit. We're all about evolution here. Okay?
That's what we like to call vanilla.
Yeah, and it's called normalizing. And, the internet has made us a lot dirtier, but thankfully not as dirty as we could be considering some of the shit you find online.
Choke Me Daddy is one of the most frequent things I hear on the internet nowadays. On non-porn videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like all the TikToks that start with, like, they're making fun of the millennials thing that you and I can always point out. Oops, sorry, step bro. Oh, god damn it.
Right.
It's just so atrociously cringeworthy.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
When I say it's too much, it's fucking too much. Okay? Anyways.
It's fucking too much, and it's too much fucking.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah! I don't know why I
don't know why you did it in key, like, off key, but in a music note.
Well, I was trying to harmonize and, like, get us back on the level that we had. The closer's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, okay. So Joe Rogan, he made a mistake. He was on his podcast. He was talking about how he saw this video where this guy's dad was boxing him, and he just beat the shit out of his kid. Yeah, it's a fucking. Why would you think this kid actually had daddy tattooed across his chest? Like, he didn't. There were a lot of red flags for this, Joe. You should have, like, you were the king of podcasts. You're ahead of the curve. You're not the old guy who doesn't know what he's doing with his iPad. But now you're starting to close in that gap. Like, it seems like you're getting a little bit closer to, Grandpa.
I'm guessing that alpha brain ain't doing its job.
Yeah, that elk meat isn't making him fucking aggressive enough.
Hey, what about...
No, Joe, you fucking psycho.
What about the ancient caveman dude or whatever? He's super fucking cut and swole.
You're talking about Liver King.
Yeah.
He's on lots of
Come to find out, he's on all of the steroids.
Yeah, he's on all of them.
He was like, I'm all natural. I just eat all the meats from nose to tail.
And I take this shot in the morning, and then this shot before breakfast, and a shot at night. You're
And
supposed to do shakes, not shots, dude.
And it all just goes right in my butt cheeks.
Yep. Oh, man. But, did I hear a rumor about... Because Elon embarrassed himself putting that Twitter poll out, should I leave Twitter? And then I heard a rumor that the one and only motherfucking used to pay me to tour the East Coast, fucking Tom from MySpace, everyone's friend, might be instated as the CEO of fucking Twitter.
Good.
Yeah, he'll bring it back to prosperity and then sell it right before it crashes.
Yeah, like every good businessman should.
Yes. People were like shitting on Tom, and I was like, hell no, that dude got out, he cashed his chips. He did well. He did really well.
Well, the problem is that kind of sequence only used to happen because people would come up with newer and exciting ideas.
Yeah, we would get... things would
Tom came up with MySpace, and that was a new and exciting idea, and it worked really well for a long time, and then and then Facebook became a thing, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking sell this shit and make my money while I can, and then Twitter comes out, and Twitter's really just a dumbed-down version of them both.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Twitter is where people go to troll people. Facebook is where they go to pat themselves on the back. Instagram is where they go to carefully craft their picturesque life that doesn't exist.
Right.
And then they go to their bed and cry in their pillow at the end of the night.
Yo, and Reddit is where people go to post naked pictures you can't find anywhere else.
Yes, and that includes having an index of every nude picture sent in the state. There's like,
right.
I have seen ex-girlfriends of mine on these sites where there are new pictures of them, and I'm like, well, they're not ones I got. So
I saw a girl I used to mess around with on Anonib.
Yep.
Somebody was on there asking for her, like, anybody have naked pictures of her? Like, Jesus Christ.
And then, they're requesting it.
I sent her a snapshot of it.
Yeah.
And sent it to her. I was like, hey, I hope you know you're floating around on an anonymous forum.
I did the same thing for Little Miss. You know who I'm talking about. When I dated, when I was just out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, she was on there, and you can see why. People loved her. So, yeah, she was on there, but a bunch of people were requesting it, and I was like, ha! I had a lot of content.
Speaking of Reddit, I saw a TikTok video earlier that showed me a video that I had to fit. Of course, it didn't show the end because it was too violent and involved guns. And so I had to look it up, and Reddit never fails. So I found it, and it's the video about James and Lisa Goy from, it's like January 2021. They are gunned down in front of their house by their across the street neighbor. They're arguing over fucking shoveling snow. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about this.
And they're calling him like a pussy and shit and screaming at him, and he comes out with a fucking gun, and they're like,
oh, shit.
He's like, put the fucking gun down. And he's like, no, pop. Just starts busting shots. Gets the one dude in the stomach. He runs away. The wife gets shot, and she falls to the ground. He walks up to the wife, puts a fucking tries to put a couple rounds in her head, and like hits her the second time. It's from far away, and you can see the fucking
splatter.
No, you can see her hair. Fucking go out like the from the force of the fucking shot, and then dude runs inside. Right? Like, he runs over and tries to shoot the guy again, and he's out of bullets. So he runs inside, and as he runs inside, neighbors are coming out like, oh, man, are you all right? And he's like, no, call cops. And the woman's like, bleh, like, from you can hear her mouth, like, she's like gargling blood.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the dude comes back out.
He's reloaded?
He has an AR now.
Oh, my God.
And he fucking shoots.
Holy shit, it finished.
He fucking shoots the woman in the head.
Oh.
He pulls the gun up to her, and he was like, you shouldn't have talked fucking shit.
Oh, my God.
Shot her in the head, and then walks over to the dude and executes him, and apparently he goes in the house and fucking kills himself. Like,
Jesus Christ Almighty. Over snow?
Shoveling snow, yeah.
My God, was this in the Midwest or something?
No, Pennsylvania.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Okay, I could understand if you're shoveling like 16 feet of snow, but Pennsylvania? Yeah,
I'll show you the video when we take a break. It's fucking, it's ruthless.
Oh my God, that's, Jesus. People, you gotta calm that shit down. Anyways, let's go to a good subject. We are almost at 500,000 views on our YouTube.
Nice.
Our TikTok is almost up to 400 people. And I think on our Instagram, I'm just gonna transfer one of the 3 different Loose Reality Inc. old accounts, so that we can get that 15K or 14K or the 30K account that I have left over, as well as my Twitter still has 10K. Those are left over from when I was doing MySpace comedy and shit.
Right.
But I'm trying to use it so that we can rebuild the brand, or not rebuild the brand, just promote the brand. But I want to let you guys know that all those accounts are sitting there, kind of like Baltimore. You know, once in a while you'll see a tumbleweed float around, but other than that, they're dead.
If it's Baltimore, it's a fucking ramen bag, not a tumbleweed.
Tumbleweave. Tumbleweave. You say you missed the part, the V. Tumbleweaves, they're very common.
Yeah, I thought you were just mispronouncing the word.
That's usually right. That's usually a right way to guess. But no, I wanted to thank you guys because like that is incredible, and the growth that we've been seeing is steady. Like especially lately, it's stepped up a bit, and now it's moving on very steady. And I want to appreciate that, guys. Like I love it. Say thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
I knew he was gonna fucking do that. I knew it. Fucking fucked us out here. You want to take a break?
Yes.
Yeah. So we were trying to find out what the secondary channel was, and like there was MTV, and then before MTV there was the box. You remember the box?
Yeah, where you had to call the 1-900 number.
Yeah, I had to call the 1-900 number so you could watch the Sir Mix-a-Lot, put them on the Glass video.
No, it's one of the first times I've seen an ICP video.
Yep, and they did it uncensored somehow.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Anyway, well, that's because it was closed circuit TV. It was still before cable, well, not before cable, but during the process where they had both. Anyways, VH1 was around, and we're adding that feature to our YouTube videos for our podcast where they do pop-up videos. We had to Google it because we couldn't even think of what VH1 was.
Pop-up video. But yeah, VH1. Yeah.
VH1, man. Y'all don't remember the good times. Because there used to be a time where MTV was actually about playing music videos.
Yeah.
Try to find a music video on there that's not played in irony.
And then TRL was invented.
The first 2 years was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then you realize, oh god, this is all the corporate music that they literally test tube create for us.
First it started to turn into what basically like adult Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Like with the dating shows and stuff.
It parodied itself.
Yes. Yes, it did indeed.
So, speaking of nostalgia, there's a video game, there's this sequence from a video game that plays in my mind whenever I'm facing a difficult task. And it is walking on the thin line of blood while the baby goes, wah,
fuck wah, Max Payne.
Wah.
That is I figured
out. It's a lot shorter than you remember.
No, do you know, it's because of the crying baby.
Yeah. And the
ridiculous.
fact that you weren't doing it right, because you could just walk straight.
No, the second you walk in, if you immediately turn left and just jump, you can get to the end of it.
Yeah.
You get to the end of it and you just go into the other door.
Yep. But for hours, every player was trying to get through and doing bullet time just to do jumps on the thin lines of blood where you hear in the background is your dying baby child. Wah, wah,
yep.
Wah. It was the same sound clip over and over again. They didn't even bother fucking adjusting the pitch.
You know how, speaking of video games and doing pointless shit for a very long time, I started playing Red Dead 2 again. Mm-hmm. And I finally finished catching all the legendary fish, right? And at the end of the legendary fish, the guy who gave you the mission anyway is like, all right, well, I want to go catch this fucking catfish. It's supposed to be like a 300-pound catfish. And you're like, yeah, all right, bullshit, whatever. Yeah. So you go with this guy, and he's fishing for a little while, and he wants you to, take a picture of him fishing, and then he gets, yanked into the fucking water, and you never see him again. Right?
That's
so, you automatically assume, there's a big fucking fish in here, right? Well, I was like, okay. So now I get it even shows it up on the map as there's a fish here to catch, right?
Oh god!
And the legendary ones always have a little crown, all right? So I'm fishing for this fucking fish, right?
So I'm fishing for this fish,
and I cannot fucking catch it. It never bites my line. I'm always catching other fish, right?
It's an unwinnable sequence.
So I look it up, and it's like, oh, you got to fish at that spot when there's an overcast,
okay?
Right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I wait for an overcast, and I find it, and I'm fishing, and I never catch this fucking thing. And turns out, this motherfucker, the whole time, it's a goddamn joke referencing I caught a fish this big. And it's
unwinnable sequence.
It's in the fucking coding that you never interact with this fish. I spent 2 hours 2 of my actual life hours fishing for this goddamn fish.
All right, I got one better.
I hate you, Rockstar. I love to hate you, and I hate to love you.
Yeah, I got one better through a Bethesda game. Of course, it's Fallout. When we were doing Fallout 4, like Brad and I had these phases where we like binged Fallout 4 gameplays. Brad would play it as a complete psychopath that makes you worry about him in real life.
Every time.
And I would play
Even Red Dead, I was a serial killer.
And I would play it as like a person who was fucking building and doing stealth kills and stuff. So I spent hours building Spectacle Island. Okay, so I
built a lot of shit.
Yeah, I did Spectacle Island. I built a hotel there and all this other stuff. And it was like 5 stories tall until you got to the maximum cutoff point. And they had turrets and everything. But the most amount of time that I spent was hitting X, holding it in so that I could pick up the item instead of just interact with it. And then carefully move my character so that it doesn't clip into anything. And move a liquor bottle onto a table next to the last liquor bottle I put up there. And like literally, yeah, a collection. It was hundreds of them.
Bro, do you know how long it took me to collect all of the pool balls for a pool table?
Yeah, there's a lot of rare ones.
I collected them. Like, I had 2 full functioning pool tables in my settlement.
Functional is a bit of a stretch.
No, if you were in that game and you wanted to walk up and play pool, you had 2 triangles, 2 pool sticks, and all the balls.
Yeah. I love how in any of the Bethesda games, like one of the whole the process of creating the game is making sure there's enough bugs that the modders that they have work for them who don't get paid release mods that help fix the game.
Right.
Like, it's a whole fucking part of the entire like community. It's fixing Bethesda games.
I really like how when you realize that your character's not moving in the space, that the space is moving around your character, that changes how you view video games.
Or when you back up from the character and you realize that you are not a person with legs, but they're actually tank treads.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? No wonder. But speaking of nostalgic things, you and your wife have been watching the Wednesday TV show. Right?
Well, we finished it. Yeah,
I have not watched it, but even my ex-wife texted me saying something like she texted me like she was in the middle of having a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Like, and expecting me to understand. She was talking about someone with red hair, and I sent the message back, "What in the actual fuck are you talking about?" And she was like, "Wednesday, Christina Ricci's actually in the show." And I was like, "Yeah, Brad told me about that."
Right.
And she was like, "And guess what?" And I'm like, "What?" "She has red hair." And I was like, "Yeah, but after all the surgery she's had, and the enhance.
Still didn't get that forehead down.
Yeah, after all that, she still didn't fix the forehead feature. And also, there's still a lot of bugs in her system that make her just look a little bit uncanny valley.
It's the uncanny valley. Yeah,
she lives in the uncanny valley. That's what it is about.
Well, and why would you get your forehead fixed as an actor when now you can just have
a billboard?
Yeah, now you can just have your movies projected on your forehead.
Yeah. I knew where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Brad and I talked about this the other day, but we didn't talk about it on the show. One of my childhood crushes growing up was the liquid that you get out of a Capri Sun. It was Alex Mack.
Yes.
Yeah, we had crushes on what was essentially
loved
a Capri Sun.
her.
So,
loved her so much. She was just like a little tomboy in that show,
yeah.
but she was like right around the same. Like it's not creepy, guys.
Because we were the same age.
Because we were the same age.
Yeah. We don't still love Alex Mack.
We love the adults.
Yeah.
Like like she was also. I'm pretty sure she was in American Pie.
She was in Gold Rush Mountain with Christina Ricci. I had the 2 of them together. It was like a spank bank marathon.
She's been in a lot of things, and she's very attractive.
She is beautiful. Do you
And you remember when we were kids? They almost showed they showed her naked on Nickelodeon, but it wasn't naked.
Yeah.
When she turned into liquid and then reformed to a human,
she had to get her clothes. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know. You're 4 years younger than me, so you may have never seen this one. And it was only a season that it lasted because it was kind of like the Encyclopedia Brown series. And those were books, but there were series. It was a great book. Go look it up if you've never seen it. But Erie, Indiana?
Yes.
Yeah. That is one of my top 5 childhood TV shows of all time.
Yeah, I love that show.
It is on my Media Bay drive.
Yeah, it's like the X-Files
For kids, yeah.
for kids, and it's fucking creepy.
It is great.
There's some creepy levels of every episode was on the same creepy levels as the creepiest.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Like the clown that killed everybody by making them laugh too much.
It was like the ultimate Goosebumps episode.
Yeah, it was really good.
And unlike Goosebumps, they didn't turn up the camp so that you wouldn't be scared.
Right.
Because Goosebumps, the books, they didn't dumb the books down.
I loved
the books. Scared the shit out of you.
They're fucking
You'd
dope.
be reading it and have a little bit of a nugget of shit in your pants.
And then they had the Choose Your Own Scare books.
Yeah.
That were like the Choose Your Adventure books from the 70s. Mm-hmm. Like, them bitches were dope because you die all the time.
Yeah, you literally, they're just like, let's kill a bunch of teenagers.
Yep. There was one, they even made one episode about it. It's like getting, like, these kids get like stuck in a torture museum in England, and it turns out that was the torture place, and they get like somehow thrown back in time, and they're trying to escape being fucking tortured. It's dope.
Yeah, that series was great, and they did a Netflix special, Bandersnatch. That was a choose your own adventure thing.
Bandersnatch was dope.
It was. I wish they had done more like that.
Apparently, there's a new one out right now called Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Where everybody that I don't have Netflix anymore. But when you turn Netflix on, it randomly generates a episode order for you to watch. Because apparently the show could be watched in multiple orders and can still make sense.
Yep.
So, like, everybody gets a different order, and
That's
there's
cool.
something like 3,000 different combinations that you can watch this show. And the only thing is you have to have, like, white as the final episode, because each episode is named after a color.
Seems a little bit racist.
The whites did bring about the final solution. So,
Oh my god, fuck you.
so yeah.
Why are you so dead set on us being canceled before we're even fucking found?
Because we're white.
Yeah, we're white. We're white cisgender males over the age of 30, so right now we're in a timeout.
Yeah, we're already canceled.
Yeah.
We just haven't we haven't been found yet enough to be canceled.
How come?
There's random people that listen to us in like Beijing and stuff. It's weird.
How come people don't get that irony? Like, they're online all the time talking about inclusion and how we need to do this for this people and this for this people so that there's equality, but fuck white people. It is.
Yeah.
It's like every time.
I mean, technically, we're all just a different shade of brown.
Yeah, like, and you know what? Also, still to this day, nobody has a choice over what race they are. We are born.
I mean, Michael Jackson did.
Well, I mean, his was more or less combating vitiligo, but
Lil' Kim did.
okay, hers, she has no excuse.
Yep.
She was just whitewashing.
Yep.
She whitewashed herself.
Yep.
That
And
is-
apparently, that Vicky chick, she has a choice. She's black, but she's not black.
Who's that Vicky chick?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, Vicky. Yeah.
Oh, Vicky, okay.
Yeah, she swears she's black because she did a 23andMe, and it shows that she's
You're like, what, 3%
point
Nigerian?
point 0.0003% Nigerian,
Which
because
is
that's
all
every
human beings,
human
yeah.
being on the planet.
All life formed out of Africa.
Yeah.
We all have Nigerian and African blood.
We're all different shades of brown.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And the reason that our pigment changed was depending on where we were on the earth during our time of that time of evolution.
Wait, did you hear that? That was the sound
many
of
people canceling
of
us.
every white listener who thought we were fucking men being men.
Yeah.
Like, and
That guy.
that was them unsubscribing.
Unsubscribing. We're gonna have a fucking mass extinction event where everybody's like, "What? They're not alpha males swinging their dicks."
We didn't need you anyway.
Yeah,
Hey,
we don't want you either. Go fuck off.
Yeah, and did you know in like,
You're the reason white people are in a timeout anyways.
yeah, you all suck.
Give us a
And
bad name and you make us have to like stand up for shit.
your mom did a bad job, and I wouldn't even take her out for a steak dinner.
I heard of Brent Kirshner did a joke about somebody like cut him off, and he's like, "You're not supposed to cut me off," and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Have your fat mom Google it and you'll find out." He was saying that about the guy's girlfriend who was in the car with him. Have your fat mom Google it. What kind of fucking next level evil shit is that?
Right, yeah, I
that
saw
ruined their
this shit.
that ruined
Like,
the whole entire night. That probably ruined the week.
Did you see that they're doing the Machine movie?
They're doing a movie for it now.
Yeah, but it's not about the story. It's a sequel to his story where
God.
he helped like rob a train The train that he helped rob.
Yeah,
He actually
He actually with the Russians, right?
Right. He actually
Accidentally.
like stole something that her grandfather had or something, and it was some like heirloom or so. I don't know, some shit. But on top of that movie, which I'm also going to see, another ridiculous movie that's coming out this year, which I can't wait for, is Cocaine Bear.
Yes! Oh my god, I saw that. I cannot wait.
Bro.
I thought it was a fucking joke trailer.
Bro,
Oh,
I am
so
excited.
I'm going to be rooting for that bear the whole time.
Right. Like, that bear is the most apex predator on the planet.
Yeah, he is the man. That is Andrew Tate. That is the guy. That's what Andrew Tate
The
strives
dog
to
ate
be.
like 15 kilos of cocaine
and
and
he
just went on a rage.
He's a real rampage.
Fucking-
And there's such violent, grotesque scenes where he's just like ripping people apart, and I'm like, yes!
I can't wait.
It's the return to the movies like RoboCop. RoboCop came out, and there was a scene in it where they're killing, what's his name? RoboCop's name. I can't
Murphy?
remember. Murphy. No, I was gonna say Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown.
Yeah.
Different
Different
80s.
Murphy. Yeah, but no, Murphy. You can call me Murphy. But there's a scene where
You
he gets
can call me
killed, and it is
Murphy.
unnecessarily violent.
Bro, they
blow off his limbs.
one at a time, like with machine guns.
Red from fucking that 70s show is the guy who's doing the murder, and he's
Yeah.
like a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
And the whole movie was rated R because of this scene, this violent scene.
Yep.
And the director was so dead set in making sure it did not get cut. And then the next two movies were PG, so the kids could buy toys.
Right. Well, it's hard to not make it PG when the bad robot in the second movie was made of claymation.
Yeah, I like when they had the robots were being made out of Japan, so obviously they have to be Japanese samurai.
Right.
Like, okay, that's making sure that Japanese people are racist towards themselves. That's a whole nother level of shit.
Right. Well, and to continue on those types of weird fucking movies that are completely stupid but are awesome, like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That dude had a shotgun that was or an axe that was also a shotgun. That's fucking awesome.
There's a good one out. I haven't seen it yet, but it's the guy who killed Hitler and then...
No, the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Yes, there we go.
It stars the greatest Western actor of all time, Sam Elliott.
Yes,
And
Sam Elliott.
I watched it. It's fucking amazing.
It's
Absolutely fucking
It's everything
amazing.
I wished it was.
Exactly. If you go into a movie called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot and don't expect it to be the weirdest, dumbest, most insane movie of your life, then you shouldn't be watching that movie.
Yep. Did you see that they're making an Attack the Block movie again?
No.
So basically, it's like the series Misfits that you like.
Right.
So it's kind of like that, except it's a bunch of hoodlums from England, and they're doing it in the American version. So it's hoodlums from England as seen through the eyes of the perception of Americans.
Right.
So it's, a bunch of people who are completely harmless but think they're thugs. Because you can't be a gangster unless you're American. Because only us, we're the only ones that have crime.
I don't know. Have you seen Soccer Hooligans?
Yeah, I'm making fun of us. Paradise. Yeah.
Right.
Listen, have you been to West Africa? Like, there's violent places everywhere, okay? Go to Iraq. Although, we do have Chicago.
Right.
And Chicago does actually, statistically speaking...
And Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit and Chicago, statistically speaking, have more murders per square capita.
And Atlanta.
Yeah, and they are defeating Iraq it's shaming Iraq.
And Oakland.
And New York. And
Compton.
And Baltimore.
And,
now, Baltimore's gotten a little bit better.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
And
Oh, my
Baltimore.
God. Oh, yeah. I was trying to go to Greenbelt the other day, and it put me off on a road because of a detour. And I get off the highway, and suddenly I am keeping my mouth shut because I know my teeth, if any of those corner boys see my teeth, it's over for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I swear to God, it was like they had 3D, or they had fucking
X-ray
enhanced vision that was X-ray. Yeah, they were ready. They saw me and they were like, "I got that Lucy, I got that white boy, I got that." Da-da-da. And I'm like, "No, I just need this exit, please."
No, thank you. No thanks.
I know what I look like, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
All my drugs are prescription. Thanks.
Yeah. That's why everybody thinks I abuse prescription drugs, shit like
I
that.
already took my bear today.
I took my aspirin, my one a day. My men's vitamin.
I took my one a day and my Flintstones vitamins. Doctor says the Flintstones are better for my heart.
Yeah, it'll keep the the vitamins of Liver King. That's what I'm thinking about now. But speaking of childhood shit, Ghost Rider was another one. Ghost Rider, you remember that?
The cartoon?
No, it was the TV show where it was on PBS. So if you didn't have cable, it was a lifesaver. It was on PBS.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider.
No,
not
I thought
Rider.
I remember Ghost Rider. I thought you were talking about an old Ghost Rider show. I didn't remember that.
No, I don't remember any Ghost Rider.
But I definitely remember Ghost Rider. You remember?
I remember. You remember
Early Edition? It's a TV show where this guy would get this cat would deliver him a newspaper every morning, and it was tomorrow's newspaper, and he would go around like saving people's lives and stuff.
That straight up sounds like an 80s movie show.
Yeah, it's like late
How about
80s,
Small
early
Wonder,
90s.
where a man has
Is that was your nickname in high school?
No, it was not.
Small Wonder.
It was actually Shaggy or Temple.
No,
Temple
it wasn't.
or Hatchet too. I had a bunch of nicknames, but no. Fuck. Now I missed my point. No, Small Wonder was a TV show where the dad worked at a robotics company, so he made a little girl for himself. Yes, he brought home a robot little girl who could deadlift like a fucking bus.
Reminds me of that movie Daryl.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, except
I loved that movie.
Except it was based on a problem of the week TV show serial.
That kid beat Rad Racer in like 12 seconds.
Rad Racer!
Right.
That meme.
Because he was a robot.
Yeah.
Daryl. Watch it.
Daryl.
Daryl.
Daryl. I do that for everybody. No, but, oh man, what was I going to say? The other show. Oh, Alf.
Yeah, he ate cats.
Kill me. He did. He ate cats.
He was if Rodney Dangerfield was an alien.
Yeah, he was legitimately inspired by just putting a fucking sock puppet on fucking Rodney Dangerfield's arm.
Yeah, and they just disguised pussy eating jokes as an alien eating cats.
Yeah. It was and that was a family friendly series.
Yeah.
And he was totally in a dominant and submissive relationship with Dave, the owner of the house, the guy, the father, because
the dad liked being abused.
Yeah, he was in a situation where Alf was just constantly spitting on him. Like just bow down to me.
Like shoo, you thing, you.
You will be called upon when I need my pussy. Like it was a fucked up series, but that was the 80s for you, man. There was a lot of shit. Like, do you ever think about the whole, just the premises of Tasmania? The Tasmaniac. It is a problematic series now.
The Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah. Because it wasn't, originally it was based on tribes.
The Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah, no, I know there's a Tasmanian Devil animal.
Like Looney Tunes?
Yes.
You're referencing Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're saying that animal was based off of people?
No. There were jokes about how I forgot exactly, but there was some article I read where they had a comparison to West African tribes and the Tasmaniac, and that there were animals, but there were also a lot of inside jokes and references where there was primitive people.
You keep calling him the Tasmaniac, and that's not what his name was.
I know. Tasmaniac
was the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, Tasmaniac is actually the wrestler from ECW who turned into the Taz.
Right.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, there was a lot of poignant references to Tasmaniac, Tasmanian Devil. That was one of my favorite
You
cartoons,
just call him
too.
Taz.
Yeah,
his name was Taz.
Call him Taz for short, like I know him. He's my friend.
Yeah,
Talked to him Wednesday. But no, like there was a lot of references and racist comments about how undocumented and uncommunicated tribes have a lot of similarities. Like if you watch that show, there's a lot of spears, and like people are like, it's just messed up.
Oh yeah, and it's the same one where they put the kids in the fucking, or not the kids. Like Bugs Bunny will be in like a fucking big cauldron getting ready to be cooked by some like big lipped like spear holding people. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Atlanta.
They had that like Mammy. Is that what it's called? Like that Mammy.
Mammy.
Yeah.
I watched Atlanta the other day. Apparently, they have something called Sinterklaas in the Netherlands and Amsterdam. So basically, is Santa Claus and all his little helpers, but his little helpers are the ones that go down the chimney. So they get all dirty and their face gets painted dark black. And it's not supposed to be racist, it's just supposed to be a chimney suit. Except the people in Holland and Amsterdam give themselves big giant lips, afros, you know, like the fucking shit they did when they do blackface. And it was just, they do it to this day.
Santa is a fucked up interpretation of our ancestors eating mushrooms.
Yeah, I know, I saw that too. How Christmas wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the...
Yeah, like the initial, Amanita, whatever. The mushrooms that Mario eats are some of the most psychoactive mushrooms on the planet, and those mushrooms grow under pine trees.
Yep.
And that's what gives
so
us
many
the Christmas under the trees.
Connecting dots, yeah.
Right, and they're like, you know, that's...
It blew my mind, but also...
There's a lot of shit that just points to like, hey, the reason we do anything is because of magic mushrooms. So everybody eat mushrooms.
And not only that, but like...
Children, eat your vegetables.
We were doing it, the whole reason Christmas came to exist is to fight the pagan celebration of nature. Like,
it's all pagan.
Yeah, they were bringing a tree in during winter to their house to celebrate it by keeping it alive so that they could bring it back out. It was just a fucking tradition.
Well, no, all Christmas traditions are pagan traditions that were changed over by Catholic and Christian religions. There's nothing Catholic or Christian about Christmas.
No, and Christ was born in July. That's what we think anyway.
Yeah, you're telling me a baby was born at night in the desert in the middle of winter? You're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
it
died.
was like -30.
It was dead.
And that
it was stillborn.
When that guy said there ain't no more room at the inn, go stay in the fucking barn, that he was like, y'all gonna die tonight.
Yeah, he was essentially condemning you to
and I love that joke that to a night of to frozen death. You are now the meat
to
for the
frozen
next
death.
I always love that joke. How it's like, imagine you were one of the three wise men, and you had like a $20 limit on this gift. And this one dude was like, I brought some frankincense.
I brought some gold.
And this other dude was like, well, I brought some myrrh. And this other guy was like, well, I brought some gold.
You
like,
dick.
You motherfucker. We said $20, Hakeem. $20.
Hakeem.
$20, Hakeem. Fucking gold? Or you sit? We're putting all our names on this.
Yeah, this is from all of us. That's a Family Guy bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, I want to talk about this because it's a problem, and Brad knows this. It's a weird thing. Okay, so once upon a time, I got pulled over while being pulled over. I was parked in the parking lot at Northeast High School. My shoes were off. Obviously, I was on the phone. I was talking to my ex, Ashley, and we were trying to reconcile, and cops pulled up behind me. I guess they didn't like the fact that I was in that particular parking lot. Okay? And this was a time where my son wasn't still capable of taking pills, and we were already treating his bipolar and his mood disorder. So we had to get a pill crusher, or it wasn't a pill crusher, a pill cutter, but it came with a pill crusher. This thing was still in its packaging. It was not opened, and we had just got it because the pharmacist and the doctor said that we should do that and put it in his drink because the liquid form caused him to overdose, if you remember.
Right.
There was a problem. He got sick, or not sick. He was seeing colors. He spent the day in the hospital. It scared the living hell out of me and Katie. And it may have been my fault. And to this day, I hate myself for that. But regardless, we were taking care of it. It hadn't been open. And the cop saw it and he said, "What is that?" And they immediately started pulling me out of the car barefoot. And I told Ashley, "I gotta go. Let me call you back later." And I threw the phone down. I hung up. Did not. She heard every word. So the cop was angry with me. He said he found a straw. It was one of the kids' markers. It was like this big. It would not fit in my nostril. And he said he was going to teach me a lesson for being a drain on my parents and an embarrassment to my children, and that I needed to learn a lesson before it was too late. So he wrote me a ticket for a misdemeanor for a $500 paraphernalia charge. Okay? Without going to the lawyer's or the district attorney's office, not district, the public defender, without applying for it, without anything. I brought the letter from their doctor, the letter from my doctor, and then a letter from my psychiatrist that says I have, every other month drug tests and have been for like 6 years and I'm good. And then the pain management program that I'm on, the regular doctor, she said that I've been outstanding. I never asked for meds early. In fact, usually I don't need, I get less than I need. and that I've never had a problem. And then I got a letter from his doctor that said this is what we needed, and then the pharmacy saying this is what he needed for that. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then I gave it to the. I said I have this. This should clear things up. I don't know why, but I think the officer was just overzealous. He wanted. He sees a certain amount of people every day, and he sees a certain kind of class of people, or a certain not class, but a certain messed up thing every day. And so I get it. He automatically assumes. But here's my proof. What can we do? It got dismissed, thrown off, out of the case. It's not in my fucking record anymore.
Right.
And the cops stormed out. Ever since, my car has been marked as a known narcotics abuser and or distributor. So I've been harassed. Now, I always get pulled over for something like, oh, you didn't have your seatbelt on, but I have a dash cam that records the front and the back. So I'll look up at him, look at the dash cam, look back and go, oh, okay. So they take my license, my registration, they go in the back, spend 5 minutes, and they come back and they go, all right, well, you're free to go. But you mind if we search the car? Every single solitary time. And every time I ask them why they feel the need to do that, they say, oh, it's just standard procedure now. We search everyone's car. I said, no, you don't.
Nope.
That is 100%
It's against your constitutional rights.
Yeah, that's against your right, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, if you're saying no, then can you just stick around for the dogs? And I'm like, sir, you're wasting my time.
You've already held me up for almost 15 minutes.
Yeah,
you have 15 minutes total to finish this traffic.
All right, am I free to go? Is usually what you're supposed to ask. But unfortunately, I have anxiety really bad. But I will attest to this, especially social anxiety. But this situation is even more fear-inducing. However, most of the time, they search my car, they don't find anything, they go about their way, about their day, and occasionally I have a good experience. Mostly, it's usually me coming home and crying because it's fucking exhausting and terrifying. However, the other day, Sean fell asleep in the car, and he slumped over, and the seatbelt started choking him.
Oh.
So I flicked my cigarette out the fucking window, and a cop pulled me over. So I flipped the cigarette out the window so that I could stop what I was doing and grab it and pull it before it hurt him.
Right.
And it was me turning into my neighborhood. My neighborhood. And he pulled me over, and he goes, the reason I'm pulling you over is because you littered right in front of me. And I was like, what? Like, I was trying to figure out what I threw out the window, because literally in all of time and space, can you think of anybody that's been pulled over for flicking their cigarette?
Right. I actually actively try not to flick my cigarette out the window in front of cops because they will pull you over for that shit.
Yeah. Anyways, so 2 cops immediately pull over, or one cop does immediately. While he's checking my stuff out, my ID and everything, he goes in the back, and then another cop pulls up. So I really start freaking out.
Right.
And I'm right in front of my neighborhood, so of course
everybody I
know is right there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like a video camera somewhere recording me, or someone's dash camera or their house camera.
Of course. And
I'm sitting outside. Sean's half asleep in the car, and the second cop pulls up, and I start freaking out, texting Dad, hey, you might want to come get us.
Right.
Or you might want to do this, you might want to do that. And he's just, calm down, relax. And then the second cop, he totally diffuses the situation. He is sweet, he is kind, respectful, and him and I start talking about the struggle of helping their child who deals with mental difficulties. And he is showing me respect. He's not looking at my teeth and treating me like a drug addict. He's not doing anything.
Right.
He is 100% legit cool. And he does the same thing that the other cop does, except he does it in a way that doesn't scare my child. He's like, is there any knives or weapons in the car? Hey, kid, do you have any grenades? And Sean laughs. It's disalarming, or just
disarming.
Disarming.
Yes.
And charming. So I really respected that. That was really nice of him. And then he was like, all right, well, I think my partner's done, so you guys have a great day. And I know it's hard out here for a single father, so you keep up the good work and don't let him knock you down. Hey, wow. Thank you.
Right.
Like, hearing that from a police officer of all people, that really did a lot for me. Except this other officer came up and immediately undid everything by asking me if I had any grenades or anything, and this, that, and the other. And he's like, okay, you're free to go, but do you mind if you and your son stand outside of the car so I could search it real quick? And I said, dude, is that necessary? Can we just, I'm right here in front of my house. Obviously, you've seen my record. I get pulled over quite a bit. There's nothing in my car. I mean, it's scaring Sean. Can I go? And he's like, yeah, it'll be real quick, dude. Like, just totally dismisses me asking. So, here's the problem. It is raining. Middle of winter. there is me and my son standing outside of the car, and of course, you know my son, he is very stubborn. He did not bring his jacket because he thinks he's only going to be outside when he goes from one room to the other, or from the car to the store. So of course, he gets out, we're standing there, and then the nice cop is the one that does the search, because the mean cop kind of like fucking gave it to him. It was like, you do the search while I talk to him real quick. So he's sitting here, he's looking at my IDs, asking me where I came from, why I was there, then where I'm going and why I'm going there. Obviously, I'm in my fucking neighborhood, and asks my son, who is this guy? Just making sure I'm not kidnapping my son and everything else. He's doing
all of this shit is stuff you could have avoided. Like I don't answer questions.
I know, but that shit seems to bring me more trouble.
No, you cannot search the vehicle. Like, if they're not going to find anything anyway, then so fuck them if they call the dogs. Now you're just fuck them. Like, now you have a court case.
I was trying to set a good example for Sean, because he hadn't been there when that had happened before.
Right, but at the same time, setting a good example is also letting him know that he should know his own rights.
Yeah.
Because there is no reason why they're not even allowed to do that. It's against your constitutional rights. Like,
and
you tell them no
every fucking time.
If you tell them no, they can't do it. Like, and they can't if they've already completed the traffic stop, right? Yeah. Like, they've already completed that point. So
I have my citation warning.
When they're like,
or my warning.
Now, do you mind if I search the car? Like, now you're detaining me.
Man.
For unnecessarily detaining me. So, like,
I know the phrase is, "Am I free to go?" And I should just say that. And
am I free to go? No. Well, am I being detained? Yes. Well, all right. Now you have a lawsuit in your hands.
Yeah. Like, he was the one that came over to me and told me, just to let you know, this conversation is being recorded, and they have those body cameras. They're at that perfect height where it's like right in your face, and which is just their way of being a dick to people who record them. Right. And people stop being a dick to police, and police stop being a dick to us. You are still a public servant. Technically, your job is to protect and serve, not to harass and,
Actually, it was ruled by the Supreme Court that it's not police officers' job to protect
citizens. I saw that.
It's their job to enforce the law, not protect citizens.
Well, they are breaking the law of a lot of stuff when they do that to me, and it is illegal. And I have the dash cam footage, and I have, gone to Eastern District and said, hey, I know for a fact that my car has a little ping on it that says, drugs. The case was thrown out. So this is factually inaccurate.
Right.
And I'm being harassed steadily.
It sucks that you guys have to keep going through that shit, because it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. And I'm not the type of guy who thinks all cops suck. I don't. I don't know a lot of cops. Well, I know two cops that I would say were really good, and that's his dad and his brother. He comes from a family of them.
Well, and it's also an issue of living in an area with such high drug volume. Mm-hmm. Like, being the fitting image. Right, and it's also not even a race thing anymore when it comes to it. It's just you live around here.
You're broke.
So if you live around here and you're driving an old car, then you're probably doing drugs, and they're like, hey. Yep. Let's trick these people into letting us search their shit, and it's the whole stop and frisk fucking shit. But
yeah, but I went on my way to walk up to the other cop, and I shook his hand, and I said, I'm going to let you know that what you said about me being a single father, I'm sure you know, because you work as a police officer, how many of us out here are always struggling because we never get any credit or hear anything about, hey, you're doing a good job, or hey, keep up good work, and it meant everything to me. And it was like he was tearing up almost. No. Because I'm sure they don't hear that either. We all don't give each other credit. Don't give each other enough credit. But, yeah, it's just the fact that it happened right in front of my house. And, that is not the first time either. I have gotten pulled over. I am at Royal Farms with my phone in my hand, and obviously I'm searching around my car for something. I was looking for my lighter. So I dropped my lighter. And the cop comes up and he goes, what you looking for, bud? What'd you drop? So immediately he thinks I dropped some kind of drug that I'm currently freebasing in the Royal Farms parking lot.
Right.
Which I'm making that joke, but is not far off from the truth from us watching people freebase it publicly like that.
Right, but you have no right to come up to me and ask me what I'm searching for in my fucking car.
Yeah,
like
I'm not driving.
You're not performing an investigation. That's not suspicious behavior. There's no reason for you to do that. So if you wanted to sit outside and watch me while I'm looking for shit, and then see what I'm looking for, and then if that shit looks suspicious, then you can be like, hey man, what you got going on? But don't just come over to like. How the fuck you know I didn't I just dropped my lighter? Like, you know how hard it is to get shit out of the, like, when it falls into the crack of your seat, you fucking piece of shit?
How many times have you accidentally dropped the cherry to your cigarette and, like, you're like, oh shit! It's in your lap. Or like right on the top of the head of your cock.
It's worse when you don't know where it went.
That's the worst. When it's a mystery, oh fuck, pull over.
So then you're like, well, I guess I'll just wait till something smells like it's burnt.
Yeah, I'll wait till either I know the cigarette is gone or out, or I'll wait until my engine starts.
Till my back seat catches on fire because it's made of flammable polyester.
All right, let's see. We got about an hour and 2 minutes, but I wanted to give this episode a little bit of a special. And I was trying to find the subject that I was going to talk about. I may have to edit this.
Nope.
You're supposed to work with me here.
They're all just going in raw this time. I ain't editing shit.
I kept telling you, like, a lot of these podcasts don't really need editing much. Like, you could take out long pauses. And
no, they do. Trust me.
No, I'm talking about us. Like, we don't need to. Like, a lot of our content is good, better off the head. But that, take out the long pauses.
And I'm telling you. Trust me.
We need to.
We need to edit. There's a lot of uhs and likes and you knows and no.
And it's funny because most people do the podcast live.
No, they don't.
Oh, well, no, it depends on
And a lot of people have constant edits. Every single podcast I listen to talks about their editor and. Hey, Mike, can you edit that out for me, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, there's like the Joe Rogan Experience or JRE on YouTube because he's now signed to Spotify, but he's got a selective of the best of promoting him on YouTube. And the one thing I hate about Joe Rogan is he's never put any effort or any money into actually advertising that.
Right.
He just, he's an interesting person. Other than being a little bit toxic with his masculinity, but he knows it. Like
right.
He's a man who knows his flaws. He knows what he likes. He knows what,
and he gets it.
Yeah, and he's intelligent. Like he has people that argue his point and people that support it. Come on, and it's cool. I like that.
I always thought it was weird when I found out that the comedian / host from Fear Factor could squash my head like a watermelon
with his thighs.
Yeah.
Like just a little pop grape.
Pop grape.
Pop grape. The funny thing is that he was literally going through a midlife crisis when he was 25. Okay, what am I going to do? Fighting isn't bringing me any more money. His friends were like, well, you're funny. Try stand up. And he just goes and is a fucking smashing success. Like that.
Right.
Motherfucking balls.
Did you, change the subject real quick before I forget. You've seen High on Life, right?
No.
It's the new video game made by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, the Rick and Morty guys.
Yeah.
The
Rick and Morty gods.
It launched free on Game Pass and has sold more units than most that didn't launch free on Game Pass. My mom hasn't sold any units.
Not in a while.
She used to. Turns out a lot of game developers are really upset with them because their entire game, in order to keep budget down, is AI generated.
Yeah.
All of the art in their game, all of their aliens, everything is AI generated. Yeah, so now, because AIs are learning more and more, they're just stealing people's art and generating their art, so they don't need people anymore.
We've got AI generating...
Skynet.
Yeah. We've got... That disappeared when you said Skynet.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got my network area storage server that's remoted in on my third screen over here, and it was doing data transferring. As soon as he said, "Hey Skynet," it popped off.
Need to change your Alexa command to Skynet.
Yeah, I wish Google would do the same thing, but no, of course not. And plus, Google is slowly and statistically, it is becoming dumber and dumber as the years go on.
Yeah.
I've had more arguments with that thing than I've had with human beings.
That's because it's learning from people that are Googling sentences like, why am dumb?
Yeah.
What is hat? What are moms?
Okay, so I need to like segue this into the last subject I have on our podcast list.
Okay.
And we're caught up fully. We have all of them done. There's the same people that pretty much they ask those questions to Google, but then they go to Facebook and they talk about how they're fucking social activists because they fucking posted earlier a link about how you shouldn't be racist.
Yeah.
That's my sister. Like,
yeah.
She calls herself an activist and talks about how she's protested. And I was like, oh yeah? Where were you in this day and this day? I said, where were you during the riots? And she was like, well, I was at home.
I was at home watching them while drinking a nice cup of hot cocoa.
No, camellia tea.
Camellia tea?
Yeah, or whatever.
Chamomile?
Chamomile. Yeah, chamomile.
Chamomile.
But yeah, I feel like they're either going to pat themselves on the back so hard they get good gas mileage or they break a vertebrae. One or the other. Until that, be careful. They're going to do it so good that they get gas mileage that ends up getting them killed by the government. Like the guy created Starlight. Anyways.
That's a hydrogen engine joke, folks. Science.
Look, all of our jokes, they're wide gamut. Wide gamut.
Oh, they're reaches. Trust me. Sometimes you got to do some research to figure out what we're joking about. And that's mostly due to our age, but it's fine.
Yeah. The older you get, the more information that's useless you collect. And there is nobody with more useless information on the planet than my friend Brad here.
Correct.
He is, like, how I am with computers, I've mastered a bunch of different shit. He is twice-fold, which is random-ass information.
Yep.
He's always got some, like, educated and intelligent response to something that I have fucking no iota about. And it's just random-ass things.
Each octopus tentacle has its own brain.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
I knew that one, yeah.
And they can fit into or out of anything their beak can fit in.
Yeah. And a murder of crows can actually recognize a person if it harms another crow, and they can actually fucking...
they seek revenge.
Yeah, they seek revenge, but they hold a grudge.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't like you.
They'll shit on your car.
And they'll talk to their friends about you, about how you're shitty.
They're... Hey, if I've learned anything about the animal kingdom, it's that crows are chatty bitches.
And that's a good closer. All right, guys, we love you. It's episode 21. Congratulations to us and you.
Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Get that gas mileage.
Congratulations. And that was off. All of it. We did this whole episode without the fucking headphones.
We did.
we went back.
Yeah, we went back a step. We went forward 2, back 1. That's what we do.
Yep, that is our thing,
But
okay.
bye.
Bye-bye. We love you. Come back.